Hello, so for today's video we're going to be doing this rainbow cut crease situation with like wet liners. So I have a bunch of colours here and yeah, that's what we're going to do today. I just thought it would be something fun, something a little bit different. I don't know. Let's see how it turns out. So I'm going to work a little bit backwards here. So I'm actually going to cut the crease first. I've already done brows. They're a mess. They need waxing. So they're just there at the minute. And I've also stuck some tape down. So I'm going to take the Wet n Wild concealer. So this is the Photofocus concealer. I use the shade Light Ivory, if you're wondering. It's way too dark for me anyway. And I don't particularly love the concealer. It's just one I use to cut the crease with. And then I'm going to take a Peaches and Cream PC51 brush. I'm going to place the product down. Look up. See, like, oh, I need to zoom in a bit. See where the line sits. That's where we're going to cut our crease to. So I literally just take this, almost just cut it along. Then when I get to like the outer bit, I just take this, almost just flick it out. So I have like this wing situation going on. And obviously I just fill it in as well. I'm now going to take a flat brush that is clean and just pat this out. Just so it's not so wet and we can get a more flat application as well. So it's not like bumpy from all the concealer that hasn't like been patted out. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to take is Cherryade. So these are all from Glisten Cosmetics. They do amazing products, especially like their wet liners. They have a bunch of different shades. They have split ones and they have like 10 different blues. So if you're looking for something, they're going to have it. And I'm going to take it on their Glisten Cosmetics brush, which is a number 2. You can buy them in a set or you can buy them individually. 2 is the one I'm going to use because it's the thinnest. If I feel like I need to go up, I might go up to 3. But this is what I'm going to start with. So they are wet liners. So you need to have like a little pot of water, which I do have. So just dip your brush in it. Don't want to take too much because even though they're wet, they can get really wet. And you'll have like a running effect. So just dip it in and sort of wipe it off. And then just go ahead and dip into this shade. I'm going to start off by drawing the pink around the top. So I know I should probably start here, but I like to start in the middle. I just find it easier that way to start in the middle and just work my way around. So that is the first line that we've got going on. So I'm going to wait for it to dry because obviously it is wet. It doesn't take long to dry. It's just I don't want to mix it with other shades and then ruin it. So yeah, I'm just going to wait for it to dry before I move on to my next shade. But with the brush, because obviously it's just water, just dip it back in the water and wipe it away and you'll get the pink off. That's why I love these. They are so great. Okay, so now that that's on and not even at all, we're going to go into... Oh, I didn't say this is Cherryade, by the way, the first one we used, and this shade obviously from Glisten Cosmetics, this is Limeade. So we're going to do exactly the same thing and go underneath the yellow now. So yeah, again, I'm starting from the centre, just find it easier. This is why I said like be careful when they're wet, because I just looked up and obviously that's what I got. Because obviously the great thing about it, because it's wet, you just get a bit of water, wipe it away and it's gone. So I'm just going to let that dry. I'm not looking up because obviously, like you see, you get transfer. So I'm just going to let it dry before we move on, obviously, to the next shade. Now we're going to go into the shade Limeade, which is a green. I'm literally just going to do exactly the same thing. It's repetitive, I know, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah, again, going to wait for it to dry before we move on to the next shade. By the way, if you feel like you struggle to get the lines, I always find like literally like I almost balance like my entire hand on my face. As long as I'm like balancing my pinky, it's almost like I can just glider. Same with like, it's how I was taught to paint nails. Like if you hold your pinky out and hold it on something, you keep your balance so everything comes like more straight. So instead of like trying to go like this, try like doing something like, I don't know, maybe it might help, it might not help people. And I'm not looking at the camera because this side's wet, but I always found like it just helped to be like this and draw on, because I've got that balance. Like if I'm like this, I know I'm shaking because obviously I really haven't got stable hands. So yeah, try like balancing some sort of something, or maybe like elbows on the table, that sort of situation. That always like helps me. Now we're going to go on to the shade Berryade, which is a deep blue, and literally doing exactly the same thing. Now we're going to move on to Grapeade, which is a purple. And then to finish it off, I have Orangeade here. Then to finish off the bottom part, I'm going to go in with white. I was going to go in like a glitter, but then I feel like glitter just gets absolutely everywhere. Like I'll end up with glitter, well, literally everywhere. So yeah, this is the shade Milk. Just go ahead and like fill the rest of it in. Okay, so I'm still waiting on the white to dry, but this is the whole eye look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply lashes and mascara off camera. So I'm going to take the Unicorn Cosmetics Rebel lashes. I think you can see these. I hope you can see these. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the base as quickly as I can, because really it was just about the eyes, but obviously I want to show you the whole look and the lip I was going to pick out and everything. So I'm going to do that quickly and then I'll be back. Okay, so lashes are on. Moving on to base. So I'm first of all going to take the Fab Unicorn Essence, and I'm going to take that on an e.l.f. stippling brush and just buff this all on the skin. So for foundation, I'm going to take the Colour Effects Power Play Foundation in the shade G20. I've just taken that onto a palette, and now I'm just going to dot this on. And then I'm going to buff it out with the Colour Effects liquid foundation brush. Then for concealer, I'm going to take the Colour Effects Power Play Concealer. This is in, on my foot, now it's on, N-Fair 2. So I'm just going to take a few dots all over the place really. Then I'm going to take the Rimmel Instant Duo Contour Stick and take the contour side. I've taken that around the forehead, the cheeks, the nose and the lips. So I'm going to buff out the contour now. So I'm going to take the Spectrum B05 just to buff this out. Then to buff out the concealer, I'm going to take the Hourglass Seamless Concealer brush. Just buff this out. Then to just set my under eyes, I'm going to take the Hourglass Ambient Lightening Powder in Dim Light on the Charlotte Tilbury Sculpt and Bronze. It's got a powder and sculpt brush. Oh my god, I can't get my words out. And just put that on the under eyes. I'm going to take the Hourglass Val translucent setting powder, and I'm going to bake with this just under the contour. Then what's ever left on the brush, just sort of dust over the rest of my face. Then to contour just a little bit more, I'm going to take the Wet n Wild Megaglo contouring palette in Dolce Leche, and I'm going to mix both shades, and I'm going to take that on a Real Techniques contour brush. This does get a lot of kick up, so be careful. And we're just going to do that around the forehead and the cheeks just to really define it. Then for bronzer, I'm going to go into the Milani bronzer, and this is in Dolce. It's their baked bronzer. And I'm going to take that on a Crown Brush CO7 and just bronze up the forehead and cheeks. Not that we need any more bronzer contour, but we can, so we're going to. Then for highlighter today, I'm going to take the Ofra highlighter in Star Island, which looks like so. And I'm going to take that on a Crown Brush C529. Put that on tops of the cheeks. Then on a Spectrum A12, I'm just going to take a little bit down my nose. And here on the cupid's eye. I'm going to take something else for the inner corner and brow bone, just fill in this little shadow thing that I have from KVD, but I'm just going to finish the blush first before I go ahead and do that. So I'm going to take the Melt Cosmetics blush in Honey Thieves. Just flush up the cheeks. Then this is the little thing I was on about. So this is the Metal Crush eyeshadow in Thunderstruck, and I'm going to take it on the same spectrum, A12. Just put a little bit of that. I usually do my brow bone highlight first, but obviously I didn't get there before I start putting liner on. Then I'm going to finish it off with some lower lash mascara. So this is the KVD Go Big or Go Home, but you're literally going to see none of this, you're going to stick to my head. Then to just dust away the bake, I'm going to go back into the Hourglass Ambient Lightening Powder and just dust away this. Then to finish it off, I'm going to take some Revolution skin. It's like skincare, it's Revolution makeup. This is the Hyaluronic Hydrating Essence Spray, and I'm going to spritz this all over. Then I'm going to take the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Then for lips today, I'm going to take the Colourpop and Kathleen Lights Ultra Satin Lip in Riviere or something like that. So I'm just going to put this on top first. Then for lip gloss, I'm going to take this from e.l.f. So this is their Retro Paradise Dream On Lip Gloss in the shade A Moment. And then this is the completed look. I love how this turned out. Just something super fun. Kind of easy, but not like too difficult, you know, like if you wanted to play with a lot more colour and do something really fun on the eyes. I forgot as well. Let me show you 1 second. This, my UV light needs new batteries. Badly. But it is UV activated, but my light's not working. It's like dull, but you can kind of see the effect of it. Super, super pretty. So yeah, it's something fun for maybe a UV party when we get out of lockdown. I don't know. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I have like other videos coming that are not so bold, if you wish. I have like some, I want to do like a cool tone look next, or like a cut crease sort of glimmery eye situation. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.